Every morning, and I mean every morning, like a fine timepiece, our cat Ginger touches my cheek with her paw to wake me up at 5:30 so we can go watch the sunrise together. Ginger's made a new friend, and most mornings a crow lands on her mast and the two yap at each other, and it sounds really funny.
Today we're heading to Lefkada Marina. It's about 1.5 hours to the north. While we're there, we're going to start provisioning for our Atlantic crossing. We're also going to spend the night in Lefkada Marina to escape the upcoming high winds, which are forecast to be in the mid-30 knot range. Whenever we move the boat for more than a few miles or more than an hour from where we are anchored, we go through a checklist of things we need to do.
We keep an old dock line partially in the water when we're at anchor, so Ginger has a way to climb out of the water if she ever needs to, and she knows it's there. She's clawed it a few times.
She's never fallen in yet.
You can see the dust that settles on our boat. This is dust that is blown up from the south from the Sahara, and it settles in Greece. So we're gonna wash the boat today too when we get to the marina. One of the jobs that I do before we travel any distance is go down into each engine compartment and check the vitals. So I check the oil, I check the water strainer, I check the sail drive oil, I check and make sure our steering lines are free and not tangled, and I check the antifreeze level. After I do this, I remember all the levels are, the percentages of oil fill that we have, and I report them to Kay, all the statistics about both our engines, and we keep a log about how our engines are doing. The starboard engine oil is at 70%, the port side is at 50%, and everything else is normal the way it's supposed to be. Kay's writing down the levels that we have, everything, the battery level, the volts, the amount of fuel we have, the amount of water we have, and the engine hours. And we turn our VHF on so that we can communicate and listen as we travel. We turn our chart plotter on. Kay also checks the bilge pumps, make sure they're operating, make sure all the ports, they're all closed and sealed up. The last thing we do is bring the anchor up, and we do that with the engine started. So we walk around and do a quick visual. Kay's already gone around and set up all the fenders so that they're all the right length, so we can just throw them over the side when the time is right. Take the cover off our electronics and make sure the outside VHF is on.
Other things we have ready when we are under sail or motor: water, hat, glasses, sunglasses, reading glasses. I stash these all over the boat. iPad for the nav charts, phone, binoculars, 2 pair, one at the helm and one for the other person to just look around at things, and a pad and sunblock, of course. And that's it. Okay, so I'm putting the chokes on the engine before starting it up. So I'm starting the engines, and I'll be taking a reading. And for whatever reason, I always start the starboard engine first. I have no idea why. These are the engine hours for each engine. And you have to wait for that beep before you hit the start. It's a diesel engine. If you ever had a diesel car, you do the same thing.
I also center the helm wheel, indicated by some whipping thread we have on the wheel. Kay gets the windlass controller from the nearby window so we can use the windlass to pull up the anchor chain. This morning the anchor is over in this direction somewhere.
After taking up several meters of chain, I have to remove the anchor bridle before bringing up the rest of the chain and the anchor. The bridle helps keep the boat centered relative to the chain and lessens the swing while we're at anchor.
Kay lets me know what direction to move the boat so we can pick up the chain from where it is on the seafloor. To spin the boat in place, I set the engines to one going forward and one going in reverse.
Eventually, we are able to bring up the anchor.
And we're off, heading out of the bay and into the channel next to Nidri.
This is kind of an interesting spot in the channel. A lot of people anchor, and actually it's not very crowded right now. So you kind of have to pick your way through all these boats. And right now it's not congested at all. It's close to town, as you can see. So it's easy to get provisions, go to dinner, go for walks, etc. So I see the appeal. After departing Nidri, we're going out into the Ionian Sea, or what we call in our last video, the Big Salty Lake, because, well, that's what it looks like.
We have about a 10-knot headwind the whole way to Lefkada this morning, so we'll be motoring the whole way there. On the way to Lefkada, Kay prepares the dock lines we just made for when we get to the marina.
Ginger preps by taking a quick bath. Before we get to the marina, I'll call on the VHF to let them know we're arriving, and usually they'll send someone out to assist us to locate our slip. Once we get into the marina, I'll go forward to keep a lookout and help give Guy directions on where to go. We're trying to avoid the laid lines in the marina that are attached to the other boats. We don't want to run our propeller over those lines. Eventually we get to our berth and we back into our spot. I'll go aft and throw the dock lines to the assistant and we tie off the boat. The dock assistant will give me the laid lines that are kept on the seafloor, so we'll pull them up and tie them off on our front bow cleats to secure the front of the boat.
We're done, we're tied in and secure. Knowing we're going to get some high winds in the middle of the night, and knowing we don't want to get out of bed to check on, fix anything, or have to tie something else down, we do everything we can to secure the boat while it's still daylight, including adding some more dock lines to prevent the boat from moving into our neighbors.
Once the boat is secured, we head off to the grocery store, only 1 kilometer away, to put as much food we can into 2 backpacks. The forecast has upped the ante to 35 knots for tonight, so we now have 7 lines holding us in place at the marina. And the marina is actually filling up. So it's not just us that don't appreciate these winds.
Well, we made it through the night, no problem. In the morning, everything is just great. We did a bunch of provisioning, got some errands done, got to the vet, got stuff for Ginger. We're almost ready to go from Greece to probably Sicily to Spain. And we're getting excited. After the storm blew through, yesterday was warm, today is much colder, probably 10 degrees colder. So it feels like that storm blew in fall. Seasoned sailors might scoff at us for ducking from the winds, but we just aren't comfortable at anchor with winds in the 30-knot range right now. A friend of ours told us this story that I remember all the time, and that's the wise sailor knows when to reef their sail, and they do it early, before the wind comes up. And yet, even then, there's a more wiser sailor, and that's the sailor that has already turned back towards their home port before the wind comes up. And you think that's all? No, there's a wiser yet sailor.
Who is this wise sailor?
The wiser sailor is already at the dock. But that's not all. There's even a more wiser sailor. They're already in the bar buying drinks for everybody. I love that story.
Yeah.
And that gives us a lot of confidence when we get freaked out about wind, that there are wiser people than we are.
Probably many, many more wise.
I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch our video. It means a lot to us.
It really does. Thank you so much again, and we will see you next time
On Sailing Blackbird. Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.